The Carol Marinovich story is one of courage and inspiration. Against all odds, a quiet, unassuming woman challenges the political establishment, takes huge personal risks, and leads her community to a bright future.
I can tell you exactly why Carol Marinovich decided to run for office. She had this passionate, consuming love for her community, and that really has driven every decision she's ever made, both as city councilwoman and as mayor.
I have worked and invested in Wyandotte County really going back into the late 50s. And so I watched Wyandotte County in a very dynamic period. I watched Wyandotte County stagnate. I watched Wyandotte County decline. And when Carol came along, she was the agent of change.
Carol Marinovich is an unlikely change agent. Descended from Croatian immigrants on Strawberry Hill, her mother, a single parent, works as a waitress to raise Carol and her brothers. Carol works hard her whole life and pays for her college education. She becomes a teacher.
Carol's style as an educator was quiet, unassuming, very compassionate for children. When she became a supervisor, she showed that same passion and compassion for her teachers because she supervised teachers. A leader, but a very quiet leader. Never one that would be out in the forefront, but was able to get things done in a quiet, efficient manner.
Charming and shy, Carol Marinovich is an unlikely politician. Campaigns run on money raised, yet she rejects donations whenever political favors are expected.
It was also my responsibility when taking campaign donations on behalf of Carol to check to make sure that they weren't code violations, slumlords. Any mark they had against them, we were unable to take the check. Now that made it a little more challenging to raise money, but I admired her immensely for it.
The first woman elected to Kansas City, Kansas City Council, Carol discovers city and county government's stalemate progress by not working together. Disgusted with the status quo, Carol runs to become the first woman mayor, wins by a 71% landslide, and becomes the White Knight, leading the charge to unify city and county government.
She's not afraid to tackle the job. She works with passion and enthusiasm and devotion. And I think those are key elements of an entrepreneur. She takes off in different ways and uses her creativity and her enthusiasm and her desire to make it right, that never-ending commitment to keep working toward the goal because she believes it's the right goal.
Carol Marinovich realizes she must convince others to share her unified government vision. She starts laying the legal foundation at the state level. She agrees that consolidation will end her term as mayor 2 years early. Amazingly, she persuades most city council members to go along, knowing they must also run 2 years early if unified government is adopted.
The things that she is doing and the things that she has done have not really been for Carol Marinovich. They've really been for bettering the community and bettering the institution or the organization that she was a part of. And that's pretty hard to turn down.
Buying into Carol's vision for unified government, the Civic Council of Greater Kansas City steps up and funds her campaign. Voters respond, adopting unified government by a 60% majority.
And she succeeded. I mean, she saved money, she economized, she made government more efficient. She dealt with the monumental task of the political fiefdoms that existed, and some to a certain extent still do, and was able to build a consensus to implement that vision. Once she did that, that gave her the platform and the proven track record to make some of those other events happen.
I credit consolidation as being the beginning of the turnaround in Kansas City, Kansas, and I credit consolidation and Carol Marinovich's work on that as bringing the International Speedway, the Legends development to our community.
Carol Marinovich serves as mayor-CEO of the unified government from 1995 until 2005. Her courage makes her a dramatic change agent and a true statesman. After consolidating the urban core, she expands services while decreasing the tax rate by 18%. She successfully promotes neighborhood revitalization, resulting in new housing, an increase in grassroots neighborhood groups from 5 to 120, and a decrease in violent crime.
Carol Marinovich was not interested in a political career beyond the mayor's office, so she felt free to do the right thing every single time, and she absolutely did.
Carol's leadership brings prosperity to her community as she lands the International Speedway and Legends development. Village West brings 4,000 new jobs, new services to citizens, and attracts over 10 million visitors a year.
When Cabela's and Nebraska Furniture Mart opened up and people just flocked and continue to flock into those two businesses, that was a pretty clear sign to the whole community, not just Wyandotte County, but the entire metropolitan community, and in many ways the entire state of Kansas, that Wyandotte County was a destination place.
After a decade in office, Carol declines to run again. For her accomplishments, she's showered with local and national leadership awards.
She could have had lots of different jobs, but she stayed, she continued in a role that would let her give back to the community. That's who she is, and that's the best kind of business to get into. That is really being able to work with a passion at your job.
Carol's husband Ernie is a true partner as she devotes leadership and passion to community causes. Experience has brought her maturity and wisdom. But in many ways, Carol is still an educator who cares deeply for children, for families being successful, and for her community.
I think for Carol Marinovich, doing the right thing is its own reward and the benefits it pays to our community and to the individual citizens. I hope everyone in Kansas City, Kansas is very grateful for the 10 years she was mayor, because I think we'll be feeling the benefits for years to come. In fact, I don't think there was a more important 10 years in the history of Kansas City, Kansas than when Carol Marinovich served as our mayor CEO.
Tonight, we salute Junior Achievement's 2009 Business Hall of Fame laureate, Carol Marinovich.